This video brought to you by our Patreons. Please consider supporting this channel and joining our Patreons at patreon.com/NovaWing24. Hi there folks, my name's NovaWing24 and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. So here we are on Sunday the 15th of November 2020 for another exciting episode, and we all survived Friday the 13th of 2020. I mean, that was a bit of an achievement for all of us. Right, I am back after racing last weekend. It was a bit of a schmozzles, but it was a lot of fun as always, so thank you very much for the time away. But we are back here with summarizing all the new releases, or at least the major new releases for the various flight simulation platforms around the world. And let's jump straight into it with some releases from FSDG. Now, this is interesting. So normally I break this up by platform is normally how we're going, and obviously we're going to be starting with the sim of the hour, Microsoft Flight Simulator. But this is interesting actually because both of these releases from FSDG have been released for both Microsoft Flight Simulator and have also been released for prepared V4 and V5 simultaneously. So first off, we have Walvis Bay for Flight Sim 2020. Walvis Bay International Airport in Nambia, with full the airport layout as appears in 2020, with full and as well as modelling the surrounding area as well. Not a lot of information about this one, funnily enough. Again, FSDG is like a lot of the developers that I talk about, where the information packs that they release is not exactly always that detailed. But however, the airport layout does look pretty good. Photoreal looks a bit mix that it's sitting on, but the actual modeling and detail of the airport and the surrounding areas and the port and the harbor nearby look pretty damn awesome. So you can pick this one up for about $22 or your original equivalent, available either direct from FSDG or from SimMarket, available now. And as I said, it is also available for prepared. It is coming in a little bit cheaper, coming in at about $21, so about $1 cheaper if you pick it for the legacy platform, available now. In the other release from FSDG, continues on with their release of African airports, and this saw the release of Windhoek, or Jose Kotako International Airport in Nambia. Again, highly detailed rendition of the airport, though this is one of their light series, so it focuses only on the airport and not on the surrounding area, but does give a full layout of the airport as it appears 2020, with all up-to-date buildings accurately modelled as well. And this one comes in for Microsoft Flight Simulator, again, Microsoft Flight Simulator and prepared release as well. Now this one comes in for about $16 for your original equivalent for the MSFS version, or comes in for $14 for the prepared version, available now from FSG or SimMarket. Continuing on now with Microsoft Flight Simulator releases, the team over at Fly Design definitely sort of hit the ground running this week, with coming out with not one, not two, not three, but 4 airport releases for the new sim, and all of them look pretty damn spectacular, and I've got to admit, not too badly priced for this one. Now, their first 3 airports they've released are all Polish airports, covering off 2 fairly major airports and a smaller regional airport. So the first one they covered off was Gdansk, so of course the very, very famous port, and includes all up-to-date terminal layout and buildings as it appears in 2020, includes custom, and all of the airports, by the way, include custom HD buildings, known landmarks for the surrounding area, full support for dynamic lighting, and custom runway and apron textures. But I said Gdansk ones particularly includes new terminals, updated airport buildings. And that one is the first release. Second release we saw was John Paul II International Airport in Krakow, which is the largest airport in Poland, both by numbers of flights and passengers. Again, includes hand places vegetation, full coverage of the airport and all airport buildings and airport layout as it appears in 2020. This one also includes full modelling of the military apron as well, including the government Boeing 737-800 Republic of Poland presidential sort of VIP aircraft. That's a custom static model of that is included as well. And full high-resolution ground textures for the airport and surrounding area also included. Both of those releases are coming in for about $18 or the original equivalent, available direct from Fly Design's store. The third release, also released for Poland, is one of their regional airports, and I'm certain I'm going to get the pronunciation of this one wrong, which is Olsztyn-Mazury Airport. This one's actually interesting because it's more regional airport, sort of more sort of GA, but it does service airliner traffic as well, primarily for low-cost carriers such as Wizz Air and Ryanair operating flights to and from the UK and other European destinations out of this airport as well. But again, though, this doesn't say that it's any less detailed. It's still a highly detailed airport. All airport buildings and airport layouts done as it appears in 2020. And this one's coming in for the slightly lower price, this one of $12 or your original equivalent, available now from Fly Design. In the final release, we saw from Fly Design, their release rendition of Cannes Airport, obviously the very famous home of the film festival in the south of France. And it's done, again, a highly detailed rendition of the airport as it appears in 2020. Full support for custom runway, apron, taxiways, dynamic lighting, blah, blah, blah. All the usual stuff that we see from a great developer like this. This was coming in for the standard price of about $18 or your regional equivalent, available now from Fly Design. Continuing on with Microsoft Flight Simulator releases, and the next one we saw released from the Orbix team with their release of Olbia, Costa, Smeralda Airport. This is on the island of Sardinia, so a very beautiful and very picturesque European travel destination, a beautiful part of the Mediterranean. So this is a highly detailed rendition of the airport. Now, this is a... It's not, although this airport has been released for prepared previously, it's not just a port over. There have been significant updates to it, including updates to the layout of the airport, and updates to some of the buildings, updates also to the ground service equipment as well, and other features of the airport have been updated to improve the experience as well as also bringing it in line with the full support for the Microsoft Flight Simulator SDK, including all the things that we're coming to know and love with the new sim, including the sloped runway and sort of undulating taxiways and runways, all included as well. They've also updated the photo reel that surrounds the area, as well as updating much of the surrounding cityscape that's included as well as a variety of other updates as well. Includes all the major points of interest around the city to aid for VFR flying. So it's not just about sort of flying an airline into this one. You can actually do there's a lot of beautiful experiences to be had by flying around the area as well. And looking pretty damn amazing in 4K with full PBR as well. Now this one's coming in at $18 or your regional equivalent, available now from Orbix Direct. In another release from the Orbix stables, and again another release from a previously released ESP platform product with the release this week saw of Dundee Airport for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So single runway ops, this one, so GA airfield, also regional, business jet airfield, because it provides for those who are wanting to get their golfing on. It's nearby, of course, famous golf courses including St Andrews and Glen Eagles are all nearby, and there's an absolutely beautiful approach coming into this airport as well. Interesting enough, this airport is also used by the air training, the RAF cadets or Air Training Corps for training their student pilots also contingents from other RAF stations come by and do training here, do approach training here at this airport. And interestingly enough, there's also, because it is close to the Scottish home of the royal family, that you'll regularly see members of the Royal Flight 32 Squadron and the Royal Flight actually visiting this airport, as portrayed by a static BA-146 in the Royal Flight colours that resides at this airport as well. So a really highly detailed rendition of this one. As I said, it is essentially a port over, but just with some updates, including full support for PBR and the modifications to the rolling runway, undulating runways as well. But otherwise, essentially, it is kind of a port over this one. This one's coming in at $13 or your original equivalent, available now from Orbix Direct. Continuing on with Microsoft Flight Simulator releases this week, we saw two releases from new developer Demos Incorporated, two Italian airports. I haven't got a lot to say about these airports because there is sweet FA information released by the developer about this. Like literally, it's a copy pasta of the entry from Wikipedia about the airport. Like that's it. There is nothing about it. But going off the imagery, so the first one is Rome Ciampino International Airport. Um, it's laid out, looks correct. I'm not that familiar with the airport, but it's tough to tell because, as I said, just looking at the images, it looks pretty good. Looks like the custom buildings, custom GSE has been included as well as mixing in with the default stuff. Looks like custom ground textures and polys have been included as well. I can't really tell you much more than that, or how far they sort of work outside the airport or anything like that, because, as I said, there's very little in the screenshots and very little information in the description or the information's been released by the developer. Um, the only thing that is noting is that there is a disused or a closed parallel runway that doesn't seem to have been modeled very well. It just seems to be, from what I can tell, it looks like it's just the ortho imagery underneath rather than actually modeling it as a surface. Although you're obviously not supposed to use it, it still sort of needs to be modeled as a surface. And that doesn't seem to have been done. So yeah, buyer beware. So this is coming in at $17 or your original equivalent, available now from Sim Market. In another release from Demos Incorporated, saw the release of another Italian airfield. This one, Torre Alfina Airfield, which is a small GA airstrip in Italy. Near Lake Bolsena on the Pagliga River. Now, this one, I've got to say, actually, I'll be honest, I'm a lot more actually impressed with this one than I am with that. It's a smaller GA field, it's a grass strip, but honestly, I'm more impressed by the kind of detail I'm seeing from the screenshots here of this airport than I am with the major one that was their other release. So go figure. Again, though, the information about this airport is non-existent, so I don't know whether it's an up-to-date layout or not. I'm going to assume that it is. But the information about it is a copy pasta from Wikipedia. So anyway, if you want to grab this one at those really good sort of price point, I think it's pretty much on point. Coming in about $6 or your original equivalent, available now from Sim Market. Continue on with MSFS releases this week. I was about to say ESP releases, but actually the reason why I was about to say that is because this next one is a straight port over from ESP. So from FSX 3D, saw their second of their releases for the new sim with their release of Gap Tallards Airport in France. Again, this, from what I can tell, looking at the screenshots that have been provided, is that this is a straight port over of their, or an almost straight port over of their previously released FSX scenery. I can't even tell if they've done PBR on the buildings, to be honest. It looks to me like they may not have done. But yeah, as I said, the lighting looks like it's compliant. The lighting looks like it's been overhauled, but the rest of it looks like it's just a straight port over. In terms of information about this release, it's a copy pasta from Wikipedia about the airport. So I can't even tell you the accuracy of it, and not knowing the airport myself, I'm gonna have to defer on this one. What's kind of interesting things about this is that the developer here, FSX 3D, so as I said, this is the second release they've done for the new simulator. Again, it seems to essentially be a copy paste of their previously released full version for FSX and Prepared, without really doing anything to it, just simply dumping it in the new sim and going, here you go. What's interesting as well is their way of doing pricing. Their pricing hasn't changed. Their pricing is still $18 for every one of their releases, and it hasn't changed. So whether you're buying something for FSX, you're buying something for FS9, or you're buying something for Microsoft or Prepared, or you're buying it for Microsoft Flight Simulator, you're going to pay the same price each time. And I'm not okay with that. So just be aware for that one. And if you are interested, as I said, you're looking at paying about $18 or your original equivalent, available now from Sim Market. Alright, so next set of releases here for Microsoft Flight Simulator comes to us by new developer Fleepy. Um, I, I, this is five. Okay, so again, and I'm gonna tear this apart here. So this is five releases. I have no idea what these five releases are. So I'm because literally I'm assuming that they are photogrammetry city releases. I'm assuming that's what they are because that's the tag that's in the description. That's in the tag, product tag. But there is nothing about what it is in the description. There's nothing about what it is in the name. The developer's website doesn't even work, doesn't even load. Um, and their price points are all over the place. And their product pictures are pretty awful. So Flyby Flippy. All I can think of is this that frog in Twitch is all I can think of. But anyway, um, so this is their release of Brazil Mega Map, Buenos Aires Mega Map, Mega Salvador, Florianopolis Mega Map, and Sydney Australia Mega Map. Every one of these entries is a copy pasta from Wikipedia of that city. That's the description. That's it. End of conversation. That is it. Looking at some of the images, it looks like it's photogrammetry that's been done, and they've slapped some really, like, the Sydney lighting is freaking awful. I assume that they took a still of the city at New Year's one night and then just said, oh, well, that must be what the city looks like all the time. Um, the 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 3D objects don't even match the photo reel. Like it's awful. Like it's terrible. Um and the prices are all over the shop. The prices are going anything from $8 up to so 8 to 15 US dollars. I have no idea what this developer's playing at. Good luck to you guys if you want to try it out, but I'm looking at that and going, that's like just no. Like I think the Orbix one is slightly overpriced, but at least you're getting quality work from Orbix for Sydney. But anyway, moving on. All right, but if you guys want to get it up, links will be in the description down below. Good luck to you. Right, moving on to another release, this time from city developer MXI Design, bringing to life their rendition of Dubrovnik Airport. And once again, I'm going to have to tear a developer apart here and say, give me something more than a copy pasta off the airport description from Wikipedia. Jesus Christ. From what I can tell, the airport layout looks pretty good. The modeling looks reasonably good. I've got to give credit where credit's due. The modeling looks pretty good. The photo reel, mixed bag, but the night lighting and the modeling of all the airport buildings, the airport layout look pretty good. I think some of the stuff landside might do a bit of change, but airside overall looks pretty good. Yeah, as I said, I think the photo reel could do with some color correction, but otherwise, looking at the product images, looks pretty good. If you want to pick this one up for Microsoft Flight Simulator, looking at paying 18 US dollars, the original equivalent, available now from Sim Market. And that provides a perfect gateway into the release of the exact same product. It was also released for X-Plane 11 this week. Looks like it was simultaneously developed. Looks like they've reused the same models and the same photo reel. What I have to say, though, it really is telling that you can tell the differences in the lighting engine and the graphics engines between X-Plane and Microsoft Flight Simulator, looking at the same pictures or the same angle or almost the same angles side by side between these two sims. It looks really interesting. X-Plane 11 is a lot more dull. Like it's just a lot more. It's not dull is the wrong word. Subdued is the lighting. Is a lot more subdued. I think is very interesting. But yeah, there you go. Again, same as I said, same as the Microsoft Flight Simulator one, except it does have custom. This one does have custom terrain mesh and an Ortho4XP patch as well to blend it in with surrounding photo reel scenery, and also supports the AutoGate plugin for the X-Plane 11 version, coming in for the same price of 18 US dollars or equivalent, available from your favorite flight sim retailer. Continuing on with X-Plane 11 releases this week, saw the release this week from Airbus of their release of their latest aircraft of the Epic Victory G1000 edition of this very neat little experimental, very light twin, it's very light jet aircraft. Like I think this is, it's such a crazy airplane, the Victory. I think it's awesome, and to see it brought to life by the team at Airbus is really impressive. Like I'm always impressed by the work that Airbus do. They put a lot of investment in their time and to the development of all their content, and this aircraft looks like it's no exception to this one. So this one comes to us with a very high resolution 3D model, both internally and externally, with full support for 4K PBR texturing throughout the externals and the interior as well. However, they've also given a nod, which is I really appreciate this from a developer, giving a nod to systems that may not be top of the line by providing lower resolution textures as well. So if you are struggling on 4K, you can knock the textures down to a 2K version as well, and still get the great experience of flying these aircraft. So that's a really cool thing that the developers done that they don't have to do. That is a really nice nod to the rest of the community. So thanks very much, Airbus, for being supportive of our wider community with that one. Anyway, as I said, also supports full 2K and 4K textures throughout, enhanced night lighting as well, both internally and externally, full support, a variety of different interiors are supported as well, and full support for VR and for VR users as well. Updated in flight model, custom flight model designed around the Pratt & Whitney 617F engine that is modeled into this particular rendition of the aircraft. Includes a full high quality FMOD sound set customized for the aircraft as well, and also includes a variety of other features, including a full modeling of noise cancelling headset simulation and hypoxia effect as well. The systems emulation includes full rendition of the G1000 PFD and MFD from Laminar Research, as well as a custom EMS option as well, and a variety of touchscreen and autopilot, all systems accurately modeled as well. It includes full support for Avitab 3D tablet functionality as well. This was available from your favorite flight sim retailer, coming in at $35 or your original equivalent, available now. Continuing on with another X-Plane 11 aircraft this release this week, saw the release this week from TalkSim of their latest release of their rendition of the SR20. So this is a really interesting little rendition. So previously they've modeled the Cirrus SR22. So they've gone back and now released their rendition of the Cirrus SR20, which is sort of like a it's the same sort of low wing monoplane single engine aircraft, but it's a different power plant, slightly smaller airframe as well, and it's only a two-seater. I think it's two-seater. It definitely doesn't have as big a cabin that the SR22 does. Now, this comes on the heels of while they've actually also done some updates for their SR22 as well, for your SR22 user. Now, this particular model includes a highly accurate 3D model in both internally and externally of the SR20, and all sound sets. The custom FMOD sound pack has been sourced from real aircraft recordings, including all knobs, switches, and levers have all been modeled and accurately recorded from a real-life aircraft. The custom engine modeling has been done for this one, which has been modeled off a naturally aspirated Continental IO 360 ES with a custom physics model to make sure they can give the best and most accurate rendition and simulation of this aircraft possible. Includes custom coded electrical and fuel systems throughout, as well as a maintenance and failure model as well, which is also very interesting as well. So it actually is designed so that it has a aircraft state persistence, this one, and much like A2A have for some of their aircraft. This one includes every switch, flight control position, fuel state is all remembered from when you shut the aircraft down or when you leave the sim. And what happens with that will carry on. So your temperature of your oil will decrease in real time with your sim. So you have to make sure you remember to do your sort of your walk around checks and make sure you actually treat the engine correctly, with your spark, to be aware of not fouling your spark plugs, magnetos, and things like that when you're actually modeling and actually flying this aircraft. So there's a lot of detail coming through here, which is really well done. Now, textures, full support for 4K textures, both internally and externally as well as full support for G1000 avionics from X-Plane 11, but also designed to work with real sim gear content as well. Now, if you want to pick this one up, you can pick this one up for $50 or your original equivalent, available now from X Aviation. And moving out of the Explain 11 world and moving into the world of Prepared with the only other releases that we sort of did cover those earlier FSDG sort of dual releases for Prepared and for Microsoft Flight Simulator in the only Prepared only release this week. So the release this week from MK Studios of their rendition of Helsinki Airport. Now this is the busiest airport in Finland and is a highly detailed rendition of the airport as it appears in, I believe, early 2020. So it's not sort of, it may not be to be immediately current, but it is close. Includes up-to-date grand layout as appears at the start of 2020, including current accurate 3D modeling of all terminal buildings and all airport buildings. Includes custom 5-meter terrain mesh for the airport and surrounding areas. Includes a variety of points of interest for the surrounding area for the approach, to help you in your approach. Includes a custom interior terminal model as well, and a full set of custom night lighting with full support for PBR implementation across all major ground textures, ground polys, and airport buildings as well, with full support for a variety of PBR precipitation and snow effects. And this one's coming in for $25 US, or your original equivalent, available now from Orbix Direct. Moving out of flight simulation and moving into the world of the permanent way, saw this week for Train Simulator 2021. Why do they have to keep adding, incrementing it up every year? I mean, anyway, moving on. So this week we saw the release from High Iron Simulations, the release of Western Maryland Railway Retro Pack. Wow, what a mouthful that is. Okay, so this is an interesting sort of combo scenario pack with a couple of sort of legacy train sets in this one to expand out your experience on the Hanover-Hagerstown route add-on, which is available separately, which is required, and you'll be able to use this pack, by the way. So this transports you back in time, according to the description, back to the late 1960s and early 1970s to go to work on the famed railway nicknamed the Wild Mary. I don't even want to know why it's nicknamed that, but anyway, so with this pack you get 3 diesel electric locomotives included. You get the F7A and B variations, you get the GP9 and the GP35. Along with that, you also get a custom rolling stock, including the C13A steel cupola caboose. That's a tongue twister if there was one, and as well as a variety of period authentic freight equipment for the route in Western Maryland and other liveries included as well. You also get a variety of careers, so you get 10 career scenarios included, covering you across a variety of freight and passenger operations throughout the Hanover subdivision route. So there you go. Looking pretty good, yeah, as I said, looks pretty good, pretty amazing, pretty standard. What is kind of cool as well is that if you don't have, and I hope they keep doing this actually, is that as well as you can either buy this standalone, or if you wanted to buy this because it does have prerequisites, they're actually offering a bundle where you can pick up the prerequisites that you need and another set of and another scenario pack as well. So that's a really great sort of combo deal that they're offering. I think that's pretty awesome. And that one's coming in for $30 US, or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. And in moving into a simulation of a different pace yet again to Farming Simulator 19, saw their latest piece of DLC released this year with their release of their Alpine Farming expansion. Again, this is one of those ones where I really don't have a lot of information to tell you about this one because the developer doesn't put a lot out there. But apparently, according to here, you can enhance your Farming Simulator 19 experience with the official Alpine Farming expansion with a brand new Alpine environment map, which is probably very important. It's got a big map there on there, so you can farm the mountaintops. And there are over 30 authentic vehicles and farming machinery, all included and licensed, officially licensed from companies such as AIBA, Linda, Pottinger, Ritak, and SIP, and more. So you can use all those are capable of being used on the new mountaintop map and your existing maps. And this one is available, coming in at $20 US, or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. And with that, folks, that does now round out the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can keep up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Alright, folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.